Penn Station.
But I'm not talking about cop.
No, they have a
No, with the bulletproof vests, with the fucking rifles.
Yeah, but I'm talking about soldiers, like the military. Like, I don't know. To me, that matters.
Yeah, they have fatigues on.
No, they do have those. It's not to minimize that experience in Union Station. I'm just saying we've seen that a lot in Penn Station.
All right, we can play a clip because y'all ain't talking about shit. Nope, not at all.
She's mean.
I can be.
I keep telling y'all that We're joined now by former Vice President Kamala Harris, who has a new book out called 107 Days. That's a nearly day-by-day account of her run for president in the 2024 campaign. Vice President Harris, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Michael. It's good to be with you.
Great to be with you. And we're just going to dive right into it. Okay. Everyone says they have their own theory. But why do you feel or believe that you lost the 2024 presidential election?
Well, I talk about a lot of the factors that I think contributed to the outcome. But the reason I wrote the book is, Michael, it really was an unprecedented election. You think about it, a sitting vice president running for re-election 3.5 months before the election decides not to run. The sitting vice president then takes up the mantle, running against a former president of the United States who had been running for 10 years with 107 days to go. It's unprecedented. It was the closest presidential election in the 21st century. And as history writes about that election, I felt very strongly that I wanted to make sure my voice was present in how that election is discussed and covered as part of American history, and I wanted to make sure my voice would be a part of that.
So did you believe 107 days was enough? Of course you wish you had more time, but do you think it was enough? And if not, do you think that any other Democrat could have pulled it off at 107 days?
It was not enough. I can't predict the outcome. We have lots of stars in our party. I'm sure that there are many people who would have done a great job. I can't predict what the outcome would have been.
Well, there were some Democrats that said that you don't take enough responsibility for the loss. How do you respond to that?
As I say many times in different ways in the book, the buck stopped with me, and I'm clear about that. And there were so many factors. You know, one of the aspects of those 107 days is important to remember as we go forward, is that we have an individual in the White House, the President Trump, who in running for re-election made a lot of promises to the American people that he did not keep. I talk extensively about the fact he said that his main reason for running, and on day one, he was going to bring down prices. And I do believe a lot of people voted for him with that priority in mind. And look at where we are today. Inflation is up. The cost of food is up. Unemployment is up. He did not keep that promise to the American people. And we also need to remember those 107 days around some other stuff that he said. Mass deportations, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies, that he would silence critics. And he has done that consistently. Mass deportations, you know, somebody told me recently a story about a fellow they were talking with who was a big supporter of President Trump when he was running. He's a Floridian, he's Cuban descent. And he shared the story of how his life partner, his wife, is now in deportation proceedings to be sent to Sudan. And when asked, what happened? Why did you have so much support for him? He said, well, I believed what he said, that he was going to only go after criminals. So part of the reason that I have written this book is for us to remember that there is somebody in the White House right now that made a whole lot of promises that were either about what would aggrandize and help him met out his vengeance, or about lies he told to the American people that he obviously never intended to keep.
And let's talk about somebody who was in the White House with you, yeah. President Biden. I'm saying he believed that he insists that he would have won the